Hey everybody, welcome to Geekoholics Anonymous, episode 87. My name is Rico. I'm here with my co-host,
Dane Cody.
I was like, shit, he's like literally gone. The Skype connection got dropped.
No, I'm here. I am here. What is up, my peeps and geeks?
We are back, episode 87.
Wow. We are getting to be old men now.
Yeah. Really old men, well into retirement.
Yep. I wish. That'd be so nice.
We get together once a week, talk about video games, movies, TV, or whatever the hell we like. Welcome back. If you've been here before, we appreciate you giving us your ear holes for an hour.
Or three.
Plus, or two. Have we? Yeah, we have gone three before, haven't we? Maybe one of our
usually
E3
closer
shows.
to like two.
Maybe one of our E3 shows we went that long.
Yeah, or one of our pack shows. I think there's a couple that have been close to that at least.
Specials.
Yes.
But if you've never been here before, we start the show with our designated drinking section, where Dane shares his delectable delights that he's sipping on.
Yeah.
Then we get into some what you've been playing, news, public service announcements, and then our free-for-all, where we talk about whatever the hell we like. So, Dane, what are you drinking?
Tonight, I'm super classy, drinking some Cavassier.
Ooh, Cavassier.
Yeah.
VSOP, XO.
Yeah, the good shit.
Which one?
I believe that would be the XO.
XO. Yeah, I have a bottle of not XO. I have VSOP upstairs.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, there's the VS, which I believe stands for VS Very Special, and then there's VSOP, which I don't remember what the OP stands for, but it's the higher one, and then there's one other one. Yeah, Very Special, Overpowered. And then there's one more, which is the XO. So
it's actually Superior Old Pale.
There you go.
Reserve. XO is extra old.
Either way, it's delicious.
There's a search on Google. VSOP versus XO, which is better? How is cognac made?
Oh boy.
What is champagne cognac?
There is a rabbit hole.
Yeah, no doubt. I love Google. Yeah, that's some good shit.
Yep, it's tasty. I felt like something a little different today. A little lighter than my usual bourbon or rye or something hardcore like that. So
I really need to start drinking.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good thing to do.
I'm so lame. I'm not a good chilled drinker. Like, I don't know how to have one or two. It's very hard.
Oh, it's easy. You just pour one or two and stop.
I know.
It's good. It's real good.
And I have so much alcohol upstairs. Oh, maybe for the Christmas episode or next week.
Yeah.
Next week will be our last episode while we take a break for the holidays.
We're taking a break?
Well,
Why?
I don't know. If you're around,
I'm going to be around.
I have 10 days
I'm not
off,
going
so
anywhere.
I'm so looking forward to it.
I hate you so much. I mean, good for you. Good for you.
I saw you this weekend. I was in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, you were. We went and did some stuff.
Came over to the mainland. Yeah, got our Olive Garden on. And then we went to the Firefighters Burn Fund Christmas Light Spectacular
Extravaganza
at Stanley Park. Yeah,
just wanted to say that word.
It was an extravaganza. It was really cool.
Yeah, it was super neat.
It was very pretty.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that your wife made us go on the train, because that was actually like a huge part of that whole thing.
Yeah.
Seriously, if you didn't do the train, you really only saw a quarter of the display.
Yeah, I agree. And it was cool. So it's a small train.
Yeah.
And it had a whistle.
It's a small train,
cool.
but it's a huge track.
Yeah. It was what, like a solid, I don't know.
I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes. It was a while.
It was a solid little train ride, that's for sure.
It wasn't, I just thought it was going to be like a big oval, like not even a big oval, like a small oval, like go around once or twice and like, yay, there you go, get off. But it was like a full like train course through Stanley Park. And for those of you who don't know, basically the firefighters do this fundraising event where they decorate the park with Christmas lights, trees, displays, Santa workshops, elves shops, all kinds of cool stuff. It's really cool. There's a lot of work, and it's very pretty. It's not budget like the guy down the street who just has way too many lights.
No, this is done really well.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Cool.
And there was snow, so that made it extra neat because we had snow on the ground, and it added to the whole experience.
Do you guys still have snow on your end?
Here, yeah, my backyard still has snow. It snowed again on Monday here.
Yeah, that's totally what happened here. Is we had here at my house we had 0 snow come Sunday. It was all gone. Mm-hmm. And then I woke up Monday morning and we had almost 6 inches.
Yeah, you guys got tons on Monday.
I couldn't believe it. And it's still, I mean, it hasn't gone anywhere. It's been pretty cold. When I was driving home tonight, it was saying that it was -8 outside Celsius. So
I'm not excited. Tomorrow's apparently supposed to be really cold.
Oh, really?
Yeah, tomorrow's supposed to be the coldest day this week.
And then is it supposed to start heating up again? That would be nice.
I don't know. Stay cold or warm up. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get some more snow next week. I'd like snow on the ground for Christmas. That'd be cool. Thanks.
You mean the week after?
Yeah, like just for Christmas week, it would be cool to have snow. Until then, bugger off.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the last time I had a white Christmas. It's been a while.
I'm wearing like scarves, toques, gloves, long johns.
Yeah, if you got to work outside right now, it's very unpleasant.
I'm still cold. Yeah, when I have to, I'm like dealing with telephone wires.
Right.
With my bare hands, twisting wires, punching down wires, beaning wires together. It's like, yeah, my fingers. I just can't really do it with gloves because it's like precise work. It's so annoying.
Right.
No. So that was cool. It was nice seeing you.
Good
meal and a fun little adventure.
Yeah, it was good times.
Besides that was my whole weekend. I guess we can get into what you've been playing. So obviously, due to my little adventure to the mainland, I didn't play a lot because I was away from home. I did play more Final Fantasy 15.
Interesting.
Still enjoying it.
So there's an interesting thing that has happened with that game that I've been noticing.
You talk about it now, and then you talk about that news story I have down there, aren't you?
Kind of, but not. That does kind of tie into it. But it was interesting because, as I've mentioned in the past couple weeks, a friend of mine who has been playing the crap out of it has been loving it. He was saying it was arguably one of his favorite Final Fantasies, and he was going on and on about it. This changed dramatically this week. No. So this week he finished it.
That's your buddy from work?
Yeah, it's a friend of mine that lives down here. I don't think you've met him.
No, you said his name, but I forget already.
Yeah, and he
went from loving it to hating it.
Yep. He went from it being one of his favorite Final Fantasy games to, after he finished it, giving it a 6 out of 10. He was very unhappy. And apparently something around Chapter 8 changes, and the game turns into a hot mess after Chapter 8. And apparently the story just falls apart. Apparently... So he put it as... It felt like they put a ton of time into everything up to Chapter 8, and then it was like they ran out of time and rushed the whole back half of that game and just threw it together.
That is unheard of in video games.
I know, right? But apparently it just makes the story awful.
That's so good.
So apparently, and again, I have not personally played the game. I know that you are currently playing through it, but I know that you're in what he considered the great part. You're at the beginning
honeymoon
part still.
phase.
Yeah, exactly.
But to be honest, I don't care about the story. I think the story is awful already. So I'm not into it for the story at all.
See, and I was going to say, I think that this sort of quote-unquote revelation that he realized would really depend on whether or not you cared about the story and what was going on.
Yeah, no,
for him, he was really invested. He really liked it. He liked where it was going and what it was doing. And then it just turned into this horrible mess of, I have no idea what the heck just happened, and then it ends. And he was very choked.
That's interesting.
This has pushed him over the edge to the point now where he has sworn off Final Fantasy games and he's moving on. That's how unhappy this has made him.
So I'm going to talk about this news story.
So that kind of goes into this news story.
So Final Fantasy 15 is going to be getting a patch that's going to add more story and improve Chapter 13,
which is the last one.
Yeah, so basically they were, Tabata, the director, I think that's what he is, the executive director or whatever, was on Twitter talking, or on the Square Enix blog, talking about how they've heard feedback, and besides bug fixes, they're going to add story cutscenes and improve some pacing in the story and add some more stuff to the game. Now, this is where I'm kind of choked. Your buddy has completed the game, so it sounds like this stuff is to maybe address what happened. I guess some of the story stuff doesn't make sense for the motivation for a character, where something turns, and maybe that's what he has fallen out of love with. He's just like, what the fuck?
No, apparently it goes, according to him, it goes way beyond that.
Yeah.
Like he said, essentially starting in Chapter 8, the entire game, in his opinion, just starts to fall apart, and the story becomes such a haphazard mess that I don't doubt it, because to be honest, I'm only 3 chapters in. Right. I think I'm in the 4th chapter. I think I just finished the 3rd chapter. The game kind of just throws you in with no really explanation of who these guys are or what's going on until you get into the game a couple hours and you get a cutscene that basically is like the greatest hits from the King's Glaive Final Fantasy movie. Right. Which kind of explains what happened before this game started. Have you watched that by any chance?
Yeah, I saw the movie. Actually, okay. I watched it on demand. I forgot. I thought I talked about it.
No, I don't remember us talking about it at all. Oh. Was it good?
Well, I'll talk about it now. It's okay.
Yeah. I mean, I hear that if you're going to play the game, you pretty much have to watch it.
It definitely helped. If I had not watched, like, I know what's going on and who these people are because of the movie.
Right.
Now it sets up the world and the motivations and why these guys are on their little journey.
Right.
But these characters, none of them are in the movie.
Wow.
Maybe, I think Noctis is in there. Well, actually, that's a lie. They are in the movie for a very small portion. Basically, the king's like, hey, Noctis, blah, 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 you got to go do this, and sends him off. And, you know, anyway, I don't want to get too spoilery. So they are in it, but very little. They're not, the movie's not about them.
Right.
But it is about the events that propel, I guess, their journey. So it is,
so the movie, the movie's kind of a bunch of stuff around what's going on in the game.
It's pretty significant, I guess, if you hadn't seen the movie, to just jump in the game. You don't have to, but you're obviously missing a lot. And that's probably why I don't care about the story that much. I've seen the movie. I know the motivations, but I don't care either way.
Right.
I'm just enjoying the gameplay and the combat.
Okay, that's fair.
But talking about this update where they're going to be adding stuff to the game kind of annoys me. I haven't beat it yet.
Right.
Your buddy has, and he hates it now. I'm at the point where I'm really liking this game.
Right.
But now I know there's stuff that's missing, and it's like, should I keep playing?
And it doesn't sound like it's a little bit.
No, it sounds like a lot. And
my thoughts are, obviously the ship date was upcoming, and somebody somewhere said, look, we're not going to hit our ship date. We need to cut some stuff. What can we cut that we can maybe add in later, but still ship this game and it be done? and it sounds like that's what this is. A lot of this sounds like in this patch.
Yeah, and we're basically beta testers
putting in, all the stuff that the
game's not
like
done.
They were missing.
They bandaged it together and sent it out the front door.
Right, which now makes me think I should probably wait a while to play this.
If you haven't started, this basically says don't wait until this is out. And the problem is this isn't coming in a week or two. It's probably going to be months.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. They've announced that the patch is in the works, but they have not said when it's coming. All they've said is it is coming.
So, I don't know if I'm going to end up hating the game like your buddy, or then I'm going to be missing stuff, and it's okay, when this patch comes out, do I go back and replay it? It's...
Maybe because, like you said yourself, you're not overly invested and don't really care so much about the story. Maybe this will be a less of an issue for you. I don't know. And again, this was one of my friends, but he is quite possibly the biggest Final Fantasy fan that I know, even more so than Mark, our buddy that we took to PAX with us.
Yeah.
He, this guy's a massive Final Fantasy fan. So to hear him say that is kind of shocking, especially considering how much he really enjoyed it at the beginning. Now, it's interesting because this game is still getting fairly solid reviews. So again, this is one person's opinion. It sounds to me like lots of people are playing it and beating it, and they're finding that it's fine, and they're enjoying it still.
Having a problem.
And maybe the back end...
Maybe he's overly invested in the character or the story.
It's entirely possible.
He likes it.
It's entirely possible. Or I don't know if he... I haven't actually asked him yet if he's actually seen the film either. I don't know. My guess would be yes, because he seems like the type of person that would be all over it. But I don't know.
Yeah, so anyway, I'm still liking it. But now I'm just kind of undecided on whether I should keep playing it, considering there's so many other games, and it is eating up a lot of my time. I think I've probably put a good 20 hours into it now.
Wow.
And I'm so early in the game because there's so much side stuff to do.
Right.
There's been some annoying stuff. I haven't run into any bugs, but sometimes traveling around the world can be a little annoying. Like fast travel. You actually have to drive to place. Well, that's not uncommon. You have to get to the places first to unlock it. But you can't always just fast travel to a point. You have to be in your car to fast travel. And it has to be daytime, because at nighttime you can't fast travel. But yet, at any point, you can fast travel to the last place you slept at. It's really weird. It does, it's strange. It's not like you can just go into the map like in Skyrim and fast travel to anywhere you've already been. It's like depends on if you're in the car or if it's daytime, and then you can fast travel, and then it costs money, and it's little weird things. Not enough to be really upsetting, but
right.
There's a couple things. It's like, okay, maybe you guys could just fix that. Like, why does it cost money? Why can't I just fast travel anywhere that I've already been? Because there is a lot of backtracking in this game.
I've heard that
you
that
can
moving
stack,
one place to another can be pretty slow.
You can stack a shitload of quests. You can only
do one hunt at a time.
Well, it's not even hunts. You can only actively track one at a time.
Oh, okay.
So you can go through your quest list and go, okay, those are all in the same area. I'll do this one and then this one and then this one. But yeah, like you just said, the hunts are given to you by the people working in different restaurants, the different outposts.
Right.
Basically, they're called tipsters, and they give you tips on wanted animals or creatures that are causing havoc.
Are they hipster tipsters?
They're hipster tipsters.
Nice.
I don't know. I should look at their outfits. But yeah, you can only accept one instead of accepting them all and having a separate hunts tab. You can only do one at a time. So then you got to go do it, and then you got to travel back to the place.
Right.
That's getting a little tedious, especially with the world opening up and it getting very big. And if it's nighttime, you can't fast travel back to turn the quest back in. I guess you could just do something else, but like little weird nitpicky things like that. I don't know if they're going to change this stuff, but I'm still really liking the combat. I haven't unlocked summons yet. I did just unlock chocobos. I've
heard the summons work real weird.
I'm doing all the side mission shit, so maybe I should just barrel down and do a couple chapters. I think I'm severely over leveled for the story mission. That's like the story mission's like level 10, and I think I'm level 24 now.
Oh wow, okay. I've heard that the summons are weird in that game.
I don't know. I haven't gotten to them yet.
I'm super curious to find out what.
I think I'm going to go head down and do some chapters until I get that unlocked. And then the experience thing, the banking experience thing is kind of weird. That, depending, you don't just level up killing enemies, you bank your experience, and depending where you rest, whether it be a campsite, a hotel, a fancy super high-end hotel, you get different multipliers. So right. I think at a camp there's no multiplier. There's a super high-end waterfront resort that you can stay at, and it's double experience. Like I literally went up 6 levels sleeping overnight there. But
wow.
It costs a shitload of money.
Yeah, I've heard it's really expensive to stay at the hotel where you get double XP or whatever.
It's kind of weird because I was banking a bunch of experience and then I inadvertently finished a chapter without knowing, and then I got no bonus. I just applied all my experience. I'm like, really?
I've heard that happens. Yeah, like, when you finish a chapter,
little weird things. But I'm still really liking the game. Like I want to go play it right now. I love the combat. The combat's fun. It's real time. Timing based. There's combos. You exploit the enemy's weak spots. Attacking them from behind and doing the team up attacks with your buddies. They're really cool.
Rogues do it from behind.
Yeah. So I'm still liking it.
Yeah, fair enough. And again, like I said, I have not played it. I think it's something I'll throw on my Christmas list and see if I get it for Christmas.
I think at this point, if you're not dying to play it and you haven't started it, I would probably suggest waiting for it to be on sale.
Like I said, I'm going to throw it on. If you are dying
for a Japanese role-playing game to play, or you have nothing on your plate right now, I'm enjoying it. It's a good game.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's going to become a better game, which is, I guess, I'm all for it, but it is kind of annoying when you're, playing this game and it's like, well, am I getting just the subpar? Yeah, I'm enjoying it, but I'm going to get the subpar experience. Like, should I wait to get the really good experience? It's just kind of annoying.
Yeah.
So, I played some Destiny. Not that anyone cares, because Destiny's stupid. They had their holiday.
Okay, I was going to say, is the holiday stuff out? Is that what made you sort of...
Yeah, public service announcement. The holiday event started a couple days ago. There's some new quests. They added the new strike scoring system. The Sparrow Racing League is back. There's a event book with challenges. You unlock different perks as you level up the book. There's some quests for new exotics and stuff that you unlock as you level up the book. There's presents that you get every day in the tower, like 5 boxes that you can open up.
Oh, only interesting. Okay.
Once per character.
Right.
And
but those are per day?
Yep, per day, every day of the event.
Oh, so the whole idea is to come log in every day then.
And right now they have new... they're just filled with materials, different materials.
Oh, okay.
And I think you can get weapons and gear and stuff. I haven't gotten any, but I saw on videos like people getting exotics and stuff from the chest, or from the presents. They're presents.
Wow.
There's a cool sparrow you can get for free.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't tried this. I did I did some races before it came down to record. Still sparrow racing. It's okay. I just kind of want to get the exotics, but I don't know if I really want to play the game to get them.
How much do you want to get the exotics is sort of the thing?
Yeah, it's
do you want to work that hard?
I just don't care. Rise of Iron was good, but it was a little bit of a disappointment in the end. And yes, I played some Doom. I talked to you about this on the weekend, but I don't think I talked about this on the podcast.
No, you had installed Doom last.
I had installed it,
but you hadn't played it.
I bought it live on the show.
Yes, you did do that.
$23 and some change. I started playing it. I think I'm on, I don't know how they do it, acts, chapters. Excuse me.
I've been calling them chapters, I think.
So I just activated the satellite array, which is in the base, and I've unlocked some upgrades for the shoddy, and I've upgraded like the heavy assault rifle or whatever that third weapon is.
Yep. Did you find it as a secret and get it early?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
I can't tell if I found it as a secret, but
there was it was the assault rifle, the assault rifle, whatever they call it in the game.
I know I got it in some room.
I had it in a hidden room, and in a secret that I found. And then a while later, I came across it in a sort of open area that you would have to be an idiot to somehow miss. So I definitely found it in like a little like small room, like a little alcove
locked
somewhere.
It was like a security kind of room, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
So, Doom on my ultra wide monitor is freaking amazing. This game plays so good. It looks awesome. It is so fast and smooth just playing it, and with that extra resolution real estate on my screen, it's like, it's just beautiful. It's like, I want to show people stuff, show off my monitor. I'm probably going to show them Doom right now because of how good it looks and plays.
Yeah. Did you try the
I haven't gone
Vulkan
back and tried the
API?
No. I don't know if I'm playing the Vulkan API now or not. I don't know. I've seen
it's in your settings. If you go in your settings, you can see it, and you can select
in
which
the game
API.
itself.
As far as I'm aware, yes, inside the game itself.
'Cause I know in the GeForce experience on my PC, it shows Doom Vulkan as like a whole separate icon. So
interesting.
Yeah.
I know in my game, when I go inside the game, if I pull up settings, options, whatever, under the graphics, I think it's under advanced.
So is Vulkan just a new API, or is it like a NVIDIA API? Or
no, Vulkan
it's a graphics render, right, or something?
So Doom is rendered, as far as I'm aware, in OpenGL.
Yeah, as with like 99% of games out there.
No, most games are done in Direct 3D.
Oh, that's right. Never mind.
So Doom is done in OpenGL. Now, Vulkan is more or less a mix of AMD's Mantle API that they tried to push out a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah. They were trying to sell it as you want an AMD card because Mantle's going to be the next best, greatest thing, and our shit runs it better.
So essentially what they did is they gave that to the guys that ran OpenGL. They gave it to them, and they said, here, we're more or less, done with this. You guys can have it. And they rolled that in, made some changes, developed it some more, and sort of re-released it in a way as Vulkan.
So it's open source.
And and it sounds like from this point moving forward that OpenGL games are going to start using Vulkan almost like the new version of OpenGL.
I see.
Yeah, because there was OpenGL 1, then there was 2 and 3, and then everybody thought they were probably going to move to a 4, but it sounds like moving forward that Vulkan is going to be the thing that they're going to be trying to move forward with. I know there's various benchmarks out there that you can look at. And on most cards, especially AMD cards, you'll see a fairly significant increase in frames using the Vulkan API. And I also know on the 1080, the 1070, essentially the 10 series on NVIDIA, there's also a fairly good benefit to playing it using the Vulkan API. Some of the other cards, the 9 series, don't see as much of an increase. And I'm not sure if that's just because they weren't really developed with that API in mind at all.
Yeah.
But because obviously back when they were developed, Mantle was an API and it was a proprietary one for AMD.
Yeah.
But when they handed it over to the Vulkan guys, I can't remember the name of the collaboration behind the OpenGL consortium, if you will. They, of course, opened it up, showed the standards off to everybody, which allowed them to put that into their cards.
Hence why it works with the 10s. 'Cause
exactly.
Yeah.
So there's a fairly, like, in some cases, upwards of 25% increase. So
Wow.
it can be quite significant.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
So the game's fun. It's great. Basically, little challenge arenas. Essentially, you can say, moving through the environment, the rooms you just get overwhelmed with enemies, and you almost have to use a strategy as to how you're going to deal with them while you're meanwhile moving around the room and just tackling all these crazy enemies coming at you. It's fun. You're just not sitting there. You're always on your toes and managing like the mob of enemies, as opposed to just sitting in a corner, popping up, shooting stuff, ducking down, popping up, rinse and repeat. It's very fluid. You're floating around the environment while destroying these enemies with your kills, your execution kills to refill your health or refill your ammo. It's a cool game. I'm enjoying it, and it runs and looks amazing on my PC.
I just love how they somehow managed to take Doom, the original game, or Doom 2, and revitalized it and essentially made it for now.
Yeah.
But it still feels like Doom.
No, it's
incredible.
Doom. It's Doom-ass Doom, but brought forward in such a good way. I don't know how.
Like, this thing feels 100 times more Doom-like than Doom 3 did.
Yeah, Doom 3 did not feel like a Doom game. This feels like a Doom game.
Absolutely. And it's awesome.
It is pretty good. It's fun. I enjoy it. What a steal at $23.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been mad if I paid full price.
No.
I'm trying to think why I didn't buy it when it came out. I think Uncharted 4 had just come out. I think there was a bunch of stuff in that time frame. That it was March, right? That early year.
I want to say it was March or April, somewhere in there. And I think you're right. Either it came out just before Uncharted or just after.
And there's Dark Souls 3.
Yes.
And some other stuff.
You were totally playing Dark Souls.
I was just like, oh, Doom. And I think I even said on the podcast, I'm like, oh, it'll go on sale, and I'll get it on sale. And hey, guess what? I got it on sale.
Yeah, there you go.
Good game.
Yeah, very cool.
So,
game.
PlayStation VR, you played a bunch on the weekend?
Yeah, I kind of felt like I hadn't. We bought it, or I should say, well, we both bought it. We talked about it a bit, and yeah, I just felt like
it went away from it.
Played it enough, and part of that has to do with the fact that we got cats shortly after.
Oh yeah,
I think we got the cats the week after I got VR, or 2 weeks after, somewhere right around the time that I got VR, anyways, which didn't leave me a ton of free time. Because the thing is that when you're in VR,
it's a real commitment to ignoring everything.
Exactly. I've got the headphones on. You're in VR. You're not seeing what's happening outside of that.
You can't hear anything. You can't see anything.
Exactly.
The house could be on fire. The wife's screaming because the cats are like attacking her.
Yeah, you have no idea because you're in VR.
Yeah, my baby needs, like, when I played Star Wars last week, I had to have, the baby was bed, and then I told my wife, I'm like, look, if you need me, you have to come in here and, like, get my attention, because I'm in VR.
I'm in VR.
Leave me the fuck alone, I'm in VR.
So on the weekend, I think it was Sunday morning, I just decided I was going to jump into VR. Actually, it was Saturday morning. So I pulled my chair out. What I like to do that I found that works in my house at least, is I take my computer chair from my office and I wheel it into the living room, and I angle my TV away from the way my living room is set up is kind of weird. Anyways, I angle my TV, and it allows me to have space around me. But because my chair has wheels, as well as the fact that it can swivel, it allows me to sort of be a bit more mobile in VR, so I can spin and I can turn, and I don't feel I'm not hitting like arms on the couch, things like that. So I pretty much started playing through the demo disc because that's there and it's free, and I hadn't touched it at all. And some of those are really cool and incredibly short. I couldn't believe how short the Eve Valkyrie quote-unquote demo was.
Oh, yeah, it's super short.
I mean, I swear that thing was not even 5 minutes. You launch out, you shoot 3 fighters or 3 space things, and then it says, congratulations, this was, do you want to buy this game? And I went, whoa, I don't even know what the hell that was. That being said, super, super cool, and I would actually like to play more of that. It seems like
the Eve demo is really cool. It's beautiful. It's like one of the best looking things in VR I've ever seen.
Yeah.
All those like capital ships are big freighters in this giant battle, and you just get going, and it's like, yeah, this is awesome. And then this gigantic ship, like planet-sized ship, warps in, and then it's like, oh, everyone's dead. It's over. That's like, really? That's all?
Yeah.
Fuckers.
Yeah, it was incredibly short. I was kind of disappointed in that.
Did you play? You didn't play Star Wars, did you?
No, I did not.
See, that's where the Star Wars VR thing is really good. Is it feels like an actual proper mission. It's not just a tease. Like it's an actual level out of a game. And the thing that's disappointing about it, like I said last week, was where's the whole fucking game of this? Like, come on. This is a no-brainer. This is your killer app. Just freaking do it.
Oh, I know. Rogue Squadron VR. Just do it already.
Yeah, that's what that was at Nelson's comment on the Facebook page.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Rogue Squadron
so I played a variety of the demos just because I, wanted to see what those were like, because I knew that they were there and I knew that they were free. Some of them were really cool. Some of them were very, yep, that's a thing that they're going to do for VR.
You didn't try Resident Evil 7, did you?
I did not.
You should try that.
Yeah,
you're saying you don't want to do scary stuff.
I don't know.
I want to play it.
I don't know if it's up my alley.
It's on my to-do list. Because the whole game is playable in VR, apparently.
I know.
Which is essentially going to be what we've been dying for, like a full AAA game in VR. So
I don't know if I want my first full VR experience to be
a scary game.
A shit my pants game. You scream like a little girl in the kitchen demo.
Oh yeah, I scream like a super bitch.
And that is way bigger than the kitchen demo. And from what I hear, much scarier than the kitchen demo. The kitchen
demo was like 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
The worst 5 minutes of my life. It was freaky, man.
Yeah.
The kitchen demo is on that demo disc.
Yes, it is. I skipped over it. Yeah. I'm trying to remember actually some of the other there we go.
Eve.
Clickety clack, me and my loud ass computer keys. So I'm just trying to pull up the list of games that are on that demo disc so I remember. Yeah, so
you just messed around with the demo. You just messed around with the demo disc.
Well, I played with the demo disc. Let's see here. I own PlayStation Worlds. I've played the rigs at PAX, so I didn't bother with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Tumble, I had no real interest. I played the Battlezone demo that was on the demo disc. It was cool. Super cool. Again, very short.
Oh, super short.
That was one of those ones where I was going like, this is awesome. Oh man. And right when I got into it, it was like, that's it. That's all you get. We're over now. A little bit like the Eve Valkyrie.
there is a full game of Battlezone. There's a campaign. There's multiplayer.
I know, now, but at $80,
yeah. Now Battlezone is really cool, but I don't know if I would enjoy that for like a big long campaign. Like, it was cool because hey, I'm in a tank. It's very Tron-esque, and it felt and controlled really, really well.
Yeah,
but I just feel like I think they show you all the mechanics, and I don't know how exciting that's going to be, 5-6 hours in anymore.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I definitely do find that the games that they throw you into a cockpit seem to be my favorite one so far.
Interesting.
Where you can look around and you see like all your instrumentation and so forth. You're in a vehicle.
One of the most interesting ones that I found was actually the Wayward Sky demo.
I haven't played that one.
It's really neat. You are playing from the perspective. How would I explain this? You're essentially controlling a character, but instead of just having that character run around, you point to an area on the map and you click on it and they walk towards it. And then when they get to whatever it is that they're going to interact with, it goes into a first-person mode where you're looking at usually a puzzle, or you're turning a knob or hitting a switch or doing something. And then it goes back out and you see what it was that you did and how it affects the world and that. And then you direct them to move to wherever the next area is or whatever it is. And it's a little bit like a puzzle game, a little bit of a platformer.
I'm looking at some gameplay here.
It's really interesting, and I really liked it. Again, I'm getting the feeling that the reason that these demos are so short is because the games themselves are super short. But the Wayward Sky one was, again, it felt like right around the time that I was kind of starting to understand it, is right around the time where it was like, okay, that's it. That's the end of this quote unquote demo. Which was both, again, it was more of a tease than a demo, to be honest. And yeah, so those are sort of the ones that I played. Oh, I did also try the Drive Club VR demo. Now,
oh yeah, I played that as well.
That demo for me was the coolest and the shittiest demo I played.
Yeah, it's really cool in the experience and the control, but I felt like it looked like crap.
I felt that, one, it didn't look overly awesome once I got into the car.
It looked really bad.
The other thing that I found was it made me feel a bit weird. Oh,
you felt like sick?
Like, to be fair, I haven't been in VR in a while. It's been a month or two since I've dove into VR. And I know myself, sometimes I just need like a little bit of time over a little bit to acclimatize to something like this. But I felt this one, it was super cool because at the beginning you could look at the cars. It allowed you to walk around the car, essentially. You could sit in the cockpit of the car and look around in VR. All the interiors are fully rendered, and you can actually look behind you and look at the back seats and look underneath and look at the pedals. Like, it was really cool. From a car porn perspective, it was awesome. I was sitting in the Pagani Huayra, which is one of my dream cars and one of the cars in the demo, and I was giggling like a little girl because that's probably the closest I'm ever going to be to being in a $2+ million hypercar, and that was super cool. But then when I started driving it, that's where it never got to the point where I genuinely felt ill, but I definitely maybe cut that one a bit shorter than I would have liked, just because my stomach just felt a little off. Now, I totally feel like spending a bit more time in VR that would probably go away and it wouldn't be an issue. But that one for me, again, it wasn't like a feeling of just, oh my goodness, I'm going to vomit, or wow, I feel gross and I need to get out of here. It was just, I finished the one race that I was doing and it felt a little bit off. Like if I continued to play it, I could see myself getting to a point where I may need to stop because I'm going to vomit.
I never felt sick playing it, but I know it didn't control that great, and it was kind of annoying.
Yeah. And then the other... Sorry.
No, that's fine. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say the other stuff that I played was actually the Playroom VR stuff.
Oh, yeah?
I dove into that, and I was a little bit disappointed because there's really only one of those that you can play by yourself in VR. They're totally designed for multiple people to play. That being said, I actually played through all of them by myself.
Yeah, that's what I did. You can kind of cheat.
Yeah, but I could see that some of those would be a lot of fun playing with other people in the room. And I actually, at the time that I was playing those, my wife was actually in the room, but she was super busy with a bunch of school stuff, grading and whatnot. So I didn't really want to bug her to dive in, but I definitely think that I want to go back to some of those with her and play some of that stuff. And it was neat. I really liked I don't know what you want to call it, the toy box, where after you get a bunch of coins and stuff,
you unlock the little vignettes or the...
Yeah, that was cool. You play sort of like a claw game, and it whatever you pick up ends up showing up in your room.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you have a room that's... And all of these little things come alive.
Yeah, the little collectible toys, the cars, the
yes,
ships, the arcade machines.
And some of that is super cool. I thought that was really neat.
The best one on there is that robot. You obviously played the Robot Rescue, right? Like that was the one I talked about a month or so ago.
Yeah, that one's kind of the one where you can play alone. That was the one that you can actually play by yourself.
That one's definitely the best one.
Yeah, it was neat. I liked it. It was actually pretty cool. I could see some of that stuff is super just proof of concept, and you can tell that they were, they're for all intents and purposes a glorified demo. But it's still cool that they added that in and gave it to you for free, especially seeing as you bought, PSVR. But no, it was great. It sort of rekindled. I needed that. I needed to go back into VR and spend some time in it. I downloaded HoloBall. My buddy Mike is one of the developers on it.
Oh, cool.
And so I've downloaded that now. I didn't get a chance.
Man.
I went to play it.
Why are you even talking about it then?
It was super annoying. I went to play it and I realized that I needed to find my Move controllers, and I put them in the other room and they weren't connected or handy at the time.
Idiot.
So I set that up to download. So I'm gonna try and play some of that this weekend because I'm really excited, especially after reading a bit more about it and talking to him about it. It seems like that's a pretty cool thing. So I'll have more on that. But it was a good foray back into VR that I needed. I had sort of forgotten. I see my PSVR headset sitting there all the time underneath my TV, but I just hadn't had an opportunity or a reason kind of to dive back into it. And now that I've done that, it's kind of reignited that fire that I want to play more in VR, and then how freaking cool it is. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I will definitely be playing more of that.
Resident Evil is my to-do list for VR.
Yeah.
I think Star Wars is $10 or did you figure out if you can get the Star Wars mission if you buy a retail version? I think you can't. You must be able to.
I don't know.
They must just check that you have the disc in your machine.
That would be my guess.
Because it's free from the store.
Yeah.
But it launches through the game's menu. So that's probably the protection on that. So
yeah, that's the caveat.
Definitely my favorite experience by far.
Yeah. I really want to check that out.
And it kills me that there isn't a full game like that. Actually, I'm going to talk about something because everyone's Twitter feed has been blown up. And actually, this kind of goes toward, I was just looking at Twitter and I see Brian on Twitter there was talking about he's given up on a NES Classic. So I ended up getting my hands on another one.
Right.
And I have kept it and I've opened it and I've played with it. I have not talked about this on the show, so I figure I should talk about it.
Fair enough.
It is cool, but also super disappointing.
Really?
1, nostalgia factor. Amazing. Oh my god, I'm holding an old Nintendo controller.
For sure.
2, the little mini console is beautiful. It's cool.
Right.
It's sitting on top of my PC tower right now. Powered by my PC. Using the HDMI cable that goes through my basement to my TV.
Right.
Because it only has a 3-foot freaking cord on the controller, which is ridiculously stupid. It has a neat interface. It looks great on my TV. It plays great. I don't know, some guys are talking about lag and complaining about it. But honestly, after I was screwing around with it for a little while, it just left me kind of disappointed. Because I can't add any more games to this thing.
Right.
The controller cords are super short.
Yeah.
And then just to add the frustration that, you know, you can't get this thing and people are like dying for this thing. I don't think it's worth the amount of frustration. It's cool, and then nostalgia is what makes it really exciting to get your hands on. But when you end up finally getting it, I feel like it's just a little bit disappointing. Why doesn't it include just wireless support for Wii controllers?
Yeah.
You know, like, why didn't they build that in? Why isn't it more of just a platform? Yeah, sure, it came with 30 games, but now I should be able to pull down all my classic NES games I bought from my Nintendo account on the Wii or Wii U.
I mean, I think that's the big issue that everybody's had with the Nintendo stuff. Is
so, like, yeah, it's cool and it's got some of the best games, but then it's like, well, why didn't you do this and why didn't you do that? Like, there's just a couple things. Being able to download more games is one. I think having actual usable cords, so you don't have to rely on third-party controller extensions, is just a no-brainer. The 3-foot cord thing is effing stupid.
I'm honestly just amazed that that's a thing that happened.
I know, it's mind-boggling. It's cool. It's good. The nostalgia factor definitely makes you enjoy it a little more.
Right.
And you're less critical of its flaws because of that. But this thing is just so close to being great or amazing. Now, if they do this for the Super Nintendo, which I assume they're going to because this is like the hottest selling thing this winter, I hope they add expandability. If it does come with corded controllers, that they come with at least 9-foot long controllers. And then, honestly, I think it should have built-in Bluetooth so you can sync. Why can I not sync my Wii U Pro controller or my nunchucks to this?
Right.
Like, there's no good reason why I can't. Well, clearly they want to sell you shitty controllers, NES controllers that probably have a decent markup because that's ancient tech.
Because those things have to be the cheapest thing in the world to make at this point.
Yeah, like, what, 4-5 buttons? Anyway, it's cool. I wouldn't break my back running out to get one if I was anyone out there. When they're readily available next year, get one then. If you really are still curious and want to have it just for the it's great because I'm an idiot. I got rid of my NES and I wish I still had it. And I've always been tempted to like buy a Retron 5.
In some ways, I almost think that might be a better way to go about it, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
you can play 5 different consoles. You use HDMI. I don't know if I think for some reason with the Retron 5 you can rip your cartridges to the internal storage. There's a bunch of stuff it does because obviously it's an aftermarket device.
Yeah. The thing with this is that, like you said, you get 30 games, which is fair.
No, it's
but at the same time there's some huge titles that are missing from it at the same time.
Yeah.
That I was kind of surprised weren't there.
They've got some of the best ones, though, so I want to knock it for the stuff it doesn't have, which is mainly the lengthy cords and the expandability. And like I said, like, why isn't there just built-in wireless? Like, how expensive is a Bluetooth chip off the shelf on one of these types of boards? It's got to be like cents, if maybe $1 or $2. I bought a Bluetooth dongle, USB dongle, for like $5.
Yeah.
So let alone what the cost of the actual chip is to integrate it on, like, you know, a little device like this.
Well, the thing is entirely running your games off emulators, though.
Yeah.
It's pretty much a Raspberry Pi inside that case. There's not a whole lot in there.
It's funny because these things have been so hard to get. I've seen so many stories and links on my Twitter feed of sites saying how to build your own NES Classic, like a better version of it.
Oh, yeah.
Which is basically, go get a Raspberry Pi, go get a Bluetooth controller, and get emulators, and you basically have every game and then some. Of course, I don't know how you feel about emulators, and essentially it is a form of pirating. Like, let's not lie, yeah, it's hard to get those games, but they do still exist, and you could purchase them. Not easily, but
some are harder to find than others.
You know, but emulation is like essentially a form of pirating, so that depends how you feel about it. It is a 30-year-old system, so are the manufacturers getting that money even when you buy the game off the third party market or gray market? No. So, you know, does pirating a dead console really hurt anybody? It's debatable.
Yeah.
I've actually pondered creating one of those just because I've seen the stories. I'm like, this would be fun just to compare the two. Don't get me wrong, it's a cool toy, but I'm just, you know, don't break your back. If anyone's out there trying to get one, don't break your back to get one.
I think part of why people were trying so hard to get them is because the price point was really good.
The price point,
and like you said, the nostalgia factor was pretty
it's
significant.
Absolutely all nostalgia.
So it's really a perfect gift to throw under the tree for a lot of people, and I think that's more why it's so hot right now.
Yeah,
is because it is so close to Christmas time. That's not to be said that I don't think that if this was to come out in the summer that it would have not been this situation as well. I just think that it's definitely more intense at the moment because of that. So,
I guess that's it for what you've been playing.
Yeah,
we can get in some news. The news just fresh in off the internet. China is going to force games with loot boxes to disclose odds.
That's probably a good thing.
Yeah, mainly this is actually real quick before I forget. PSVR, you said Wayward Sky.
Yep.
The guys who made that game have a game called Dino Frontier coming out.
Okay.
It's like a real-time strategy game where you're basically your god hands interacting with building a town, collecting resources, and battling.
Oh.
And it's dinosaurs in the Wild West, and it was unveiled at PlayStation Experience.
And that sounds super cool.
I've heard it's really cool from people who got to play it. So just before I forgot, Dino Frontier. I think it's coming up next year. So anyway, China said, you guys have to disclose the odds. You know, this is kind of like a form of gambling. We need to know what's going on to protect people so they're just not blowing all their money.
I think it's a great idea.
I think it's great, and I think it should be implemented here. I'm surprised it hasn't been implemented here. I know people on Reddit and forums and like fan sites get together and figure the odds out, you know, but they figure the odds out by pumping money into the game and opening a couple hundred boxes and then doing their, you know, probability math and all that kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
And obviously it's not exact, but it can be pretty reliable.
You know, it at least gives you a pretty good idea.
Mm-hmm. Like with Overwatch, they were saying like if you were to spend $50 and is it $50 and you get 50 loot boxes or something stupid like that?
Yeah.
$40 and you get 50. They were saying, like, yeah, chances are you'll get 3 epic skins. And quite often,
out
you
of
get it.
$50, that's all you're going to get.
And quite often, I think it's $40, and quite often you get at least 3, if not more.
Right.
So, they're pretty good at figuring this stuff out. Now, I think it's cool if the game dev just straight up says, look, this is your chances of getting that. And then and then you don't do the, just one more. I don't fall sucker for these because I haven't bought any loot boxes. Me
neither.
I really despise this type of monetization. A random RNG is super frustrating. I just want to buy the fucking skin I want to buy. Like in Hearthstone, or I guess Smite does it that way. Like in any... No, they don't? Okay.
Smite does 2 things. You can go in and buy the skin that you fucking want.
Well,
because, hey, that's a thing.
That's what I'm saying. Just buy the skin you want.
But they do some of the...
randomness?
What they'll usually do is at certain times of year, say they'll have a holiday box.
Event, yeah.
And if you spend X amount of money on the holiday box, not only will you just get a skin, but you'll also get maybe a voice pack as well as some other thing. Like, so they'll try to increase the value of it. But the thing is that you won't be guaranteed to get one skin. So you'll get, for example, you'll buy a holiday loot box, which has 20 different holiday skins in it, and you're guaranteed to get one of those and the added stuff to make it so that if you were to just purchase one of those skins, you would just purchase one of those skins, but you wouldn't get any of the additional stuff.
Yeah, and you could earn that in game too, though, right? Just by grinding the currency. Yes, no.
No.
Okay, so that's
what they'll
different.
do
so
is they'll have certain skins that you can use in-game currency on, and then they'll have other skins that you do need to pay real money for.
Mm-hmm. So those are different. So, those are like limited holiday ones. So that's kind of like this. So they would have to divulge their odds for that if this kind of happened here. But what I'm saying is, like, I hate loot boxes. They're so fucking annoying. You have to throw a bunch of money. I only play Genji. I want Genji's ultimate fucking skin. Let me give you $5.
Yeah.
No, I have to give you 40 or 50 or 100, and I may or may not ever get it. Well,
it's super annoying, and I really dislike it.
So in that instance, for someone like me with really strong willpower, you get nothing. You get nada.
Yep.
Fuck you. You get nothing from me. But now if I could buy that skin, I'd just buy that skin for $5. Like in fucking Hearthstone, I think I've spent like $20 or $30 on stupid skins, and I barely play the game anymore because I could get the exact ones I fucking want.
Yeah, I've done a similar thing with Smite. I've purchased a whole bunch of crap that I obviously haven't played Smite in a while.
It's cool that you grind loot boxes for free for playing the game.
Yeah.
And in not Hearthstone, in Heroes of the Storm, I think I might have said Hearthstone referring to Heroes, but anyway, Heroes of the Storm, you earn currency from playing games. And then you could unlock the exact skin or the character you want that way as well.
Right.
Obviously, that's the long route, but you could also just go there. It's all cosmetic anyway. Why? Yeah. Why is there randomness to cosmetics that don't affect gameplay? Anyway, I think it's cool. For people who have a problem with gambling and getting addicted to these stupid boxes, if you saw how bad your odds are, this might favorably affect the marketplace in our favor, where they will either increase odds or, revise these types of systems and be like, okay, this is not working anymore now that people can see through our little chill we have going on here, our little game.
Like I said, I think it's just, I wish something like that would come here.
No,
just
absolutely.
To at least give me the odds of some of this stuff.
I imagine it will.
If I could see the odds in some other games of whether or not I'm going to get a freaking duplicate, that would be even better.
Yeah, like Transformers Earth Wars. I bet you their odds of purchases in that games are like criminally low. I bet you if they were to release their odds, they'd like literally someone would like sue their ass. That game has to have the worst. I bought one pack and it was free money anyway because I got a credit from Brian to Google Chrome, so I don't feel too bad. But I've never given them any real money because the one time I did, it was atrocious.
Duplicate.
I literally felt like I was just robbed. Like they just ripped me off. I've never felt so ripped off by any game.
Almost every time, unfortunately. The brutal part is I like playing the game, but I want the other bots is the problem. I want the other bots. So then when I want to, every time I think about giving them money to try and get the other bots, I remember that the chances are I'll give them $10 or $20 and I probably won't get, there's no way that I can only purchase 3 stars or there's no way that I can only purchase 4 stars. It's the most annoying thing to come across.
Yeah.
Because like you said, if there was a thing that I could just go, okay, I'm going to buy 3-star bots and know that at least,
and even if it's like a ridiculous
a duplicate
price,
one,
at least you know.
Yeah, and even if I knew that when I purchased those bots, it wasn't going to give me a duplicate, especially on money that I've spent real money on, you're just going to give me a duplicate bot that I already own. That feels like a ripoff. That is the one thing that drives me insane about that game is that you spend a bunch of money to buy a pack of bots and every single one might be a duplicate of something that you already own.
You get nothing and you don't get it. You should at least get something. Like, yeah, it's really, hopefully this comes over here and it gets adopted quickly. If not, in time, I bet you this is just going to be imposed, especially with all the shit going on with Counter-Strike Go and skins and all that crap. Still just in the early days of being in the courts right now.
Yeah.
I bet you this shit's like... I'm not going to be surprised if within a year or two that there's going to be some regulation when it comes to randomized boxes of virtual items in games across the board. You heard it here first. Or maybe second, because I don't doubt someone else with a big brain like me said it already. Anyway, next. Call of Duty physical sales are down from last year. This is disappointing and mixed bag. Activision obviously was expecting it to be down because it has been down year after year for a little while now.
The thing that this story doesn't mention, though, is that we don't know how much they're up on digital platforms.
Yeah, so they're almost down.
Because how many people didn't bother walking to a store and dealing with a stupid fucking GameStop line when they could just buy it at home and download it, or even pre-download it and have it unlock when the game comes out?
Yeah. Well, and mine was provided to me by Activision. It was digital. My brother-in-law bought his digital.
I bought mine digital.
Yeah, another buddy I know bought it digital. Like, okay, so to me, that's the majority of the people I know bought it digital.
Yeah.
So those numbers aren't released anywhere. So the story is kind of misleading in that, like, if you're a Call of Duty hater, like, yeah, they're going down. But
I don't think that's the case at all. I think that just more people decided
a lot of sales
have
transitioned to digital. I don't think digital is going to make up the shortfall, but I don't think it's as bleak as this story kind of paints. And it's sad, though, because honestly, this is the best Call of Duty since Modern Warfare, in my opinion, which kind of sucks.
I've got mine downloaded now. I set mine to download, so it's on my hard drive. I haven't started it yet.
So you just picked it up then?
No, I picked it up on the Steam sale there.
Nice.
It was, $30 off? So I think $46 on the Steam sale.
You did say you picked it up.
Yeah. I figured it was worth it, seeing as the game just came out, and
we talked about Final Fantasy 15 patch.
We did.
Adding more story, improving Chapter 13, yada yada. Stupid. Resogun's getting a 4K PS4 Pro patch and HDR support. Actually, more and more games they're getting. I don't think this is out. There's no date yet.
Right.
But that was a cool looking game. That would be pretty interesting to see with HDR and 4K.
That was a really pretty game.
I think that's about it. It's been a light week for news. We're getting into the holiday. We're going to hit like a drought here pretty quick. As big announcements are kind of just, everyone's going to be going on vacation soon. I think a lot of people start going on vacation next week.
Bastards.
With the way Christmas falls, like on a Sunday. I think some people's holidays start next week. Not mine, unfortunately. Not mine, unfortunately. I've got 5, 6, 7 days left. And then I'm off for 10. Woo!
I just get the one day.
I'm so excited.
So
I'm hoping I get to play some freaking games. So do you have anything to add to news, or is that it?
No, I think that's pretty much it. We got a little tease earlier from AMD talking about their upcoming processors that look super promising, I would say, at this point. Not giving a ton of details but they have more or less announced it now, so that's a thing that is happening, which is good. I think, like I was saying to you earlier, I think that any competition in that arena is a good thing. There seems to be quite a bit of stagnation with AMD not actually being a proper competitor to Intel.
No.
It's allowed Intel to more or less just kind of slowly sit on their laurels, slowly increase the speed and make some changes here and there, but ultimately year on year there's not huge differences in their lineup.
For the last 3 years, the i7's been incrementally better.
Yeah, pretty much. So the fact that AMD might finally be having a second wind would be great. All we know right now is they're calling it, again, I'm not sure how the hell to pronounce this. It's Ryzen. Is that Ryzen?
That looks like Ryzen to me.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought as well. It's going to be an 8-core desktop CPU. Looks like they're hitting 95 watts from a power perspective. There will also be a new AM4 platform, so a new chipset. So, again, no word on pricing yet. They've talked a little bit about speeds. It looks like it's very close in certain performances. Of course, this stuff is always hard to say, it's in line with this Intel chip or that Intel chip, because just because it's close in these different benchmarks doesn't actually mean that it's going to be faster in the real world or in these other benchmarks.
Different story.
So we'll have to wait. Yeah, exactly. We'll have to wait for that to finally start happening. But it has been announced, and it looks like they're trying to hit first quarter of next year. So I don't know what their first quarter looks like. All they've said is Q1 of 2017. So
up to March, basically, end of March.
Yeah. But
I'm
hey,
sure
it looks pretty promising.
Yes.
I'm sure we will, for sure.
That would make
But it's
sense.
cool. It's like I said, 8-core, 16 threads. So they're doing something similar to hyper-threading, whatever they're calling their version of hyper-threading. So that's a lot of cores, which is cool. Base currently is a 3.4 gigahertz base core, which of course then allows for turbos off of that.
Turbo
mode, which allows the chip to incrementally increase in speed depending on what's going on. If you've only got 1 or 2 cores going, that allows those cores to increase their speed quite significantly, meanwhile slowing down the other cores because they're not being used, things like that. This also looks like they're doing a very interesting thing where they might be adjusting the speed of dual sets of cores. So you may be able to get some cores inside the processor may run at 3.4 whereas other cores inside that exact same processor itself may run at 3.6 or 3.8. So it's a very interesting way to go about it and a way to adjust performance on the fly. So like I said, we're going to know a bit more about it in the upcoming weeks. So, but at least they're announcing it and it looks really cool, promising.
They looked kind of dead in the water recently.
Like they've been super hurting.
Super stale. Intel's just like walked away with their lunch and has been dominating the home CPU market basically.
Oh yeah, no, not just the home market. They're pretty much dominating all the markets.
Everything, sorry. But
yeah. So
this
is good to see that they're moving forward with this and it actually looks promising. So I would really, really like to see AMD come back and
it would be nice. They were a Canadian company, weren't they?
No, that was ATI was a Canadian
which
company.
Got bought by AMD.
Yeah. The Radeons used to be Canadian, so
that's right. We talked about the Jimmy Fallon last week a little bit, didn't we? Like it was on while we were recording, or snippets were on.
Yeah, it was pretty much happening while we were recording.
So I don't think we really talked about it. Reggie Fils-Aimé from Nintendo, president of Nintendo America, was on Jimmy and
showing off the Nintendo Switch.
And Shigeru Miyamoto were there as well. And I know we talked about it, but I don't think we got too in depth with it because we didn't know what was going on. We just knew they were there. And anyway, he showed off Super Mario Run. And then, of course, they showed the Switch.
Right.
Reggie was playing on the big screen. They undocked it. Handed it to Jimmy. Jimmy played with it. He opened the kickstand. He set it up. He was really handling it and playing it. He was losing his shit because he's like a Nintendo fanboy at heart.
Right.
So yeah, if you're really interested, I linked it on the Facebook page when it happened. But if you are interested, yeah, definitely check out the Facebook page and you can see the video of it in action from that segment on Jimmy Fallon. It was like a good 10 minutes.
Interesting. Okay.
It, it makes me super excited. Super duper excited. Like crazy.
What game
excited.
were they showing off on the Switch?
Zelda.
Of course.
Yeah, it looks so amazing. That's it for news, my friend.
Yeah.
We can get
a little light on news.
Yeah, we can get into our public service announcements. There's actually quite a few. I'm kind of using this more for, hey, this is out. Separating it more from the news. Because there's stuff you can go act on as opposed to us just commenting on. Because there's not much to say. Overwatch holiday event has begun. Go out there. Get your free
box.
Yeah, get your free Christmas loot box. Try the snowball fight mode. Mess around with that. It has started. I think it runs for a couple weeks. I meant to write it down here. The Destiny Christmas event also started. Uncharted 4 survival mode is out now.
Oh,
we were talking about that. That's a horde-based mode. I believe it's free. That is out now. Also just came out, I think, on Tuesday. And I guess this should have been in news. I don't know how it got down here. Attack on Titan Season 2 is debuting next year in April.
Is that in North America or is that in Japan?
That is in Japan, but I assume it will be on one of the anime streaming services, like immediately after or days after they air on TV.
Right.
So that's super exciting because that series is freaking amazing.
Man, it's been so long since I watched season 1. I almost feel like I need to go back and rewatch it now.
3 years ago, maybe in November, not December, 3 years ago. That's when I first started at my job. I remember powering through it in like a day and a half in my hotel room on Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
20-something episodes.
I watched it on Netflix, actually.
Yeah, it's on Netflix now. It wasn't on Netflix when I saw it. I had to watch it on Crunchyroll.
Interesting.
On Netflix, was it dubbed or subtitled?
It's both. It's whichever you want to watch.
Oh, I watched it subtitled. I don't even know what the American voices sound like.
I don't know either. I watched it subtitled.
Or not American. I should say English because it's not American. And then last PSA for everyone out there who has a dirty iPhone or iOS device. By the time you listen to this podcast, you should be able to get your grubby hands on Super Mario Run. Nintendo's first real mobile game.
I've heard that's
free to start, and then one single purchase price to unlock the whole game. I think it's $10 American, they were saying.
Interesting. I'm super curious. I've heard that you can go into the Apple stores and play it on...
Yeah. Oh, that was the big thing they announced on Jimmy. Shit. Last week. They're like, oh, and by the way, you can go into Apple Store and demo it now.
Okay, yeah.
So that started last week. So if you don't have an iOS device and you live near an Apple store, you can go try it for yourself. They said it's coming to Android
eventually.
So I don't know what eventually is.
Yeah.
I think Miitomo. Did Miitomo come out day and date on Android and iOS, or was it a week or two later on Android? I can't remember.
I can't remember either. I don't believe it was the same time, yeah.
That weird, dumb social thing they did, not really a game. So, yeah, by the time you listen to this, if you've got an iOS device, you will be able to play that. I will be purchasing it on my wife's phone.
I'm going to have to... I will definitely look into that. I don't really know if it's going to be something that's overly up my alley, though, that I'm going to go out of my way.
If you don't have an iOS device, I don't know if it's worth it. I'm going to buy it because I love Mario and I want to talk about it next week.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll be curious to find your thoughts on it because I've heard that it's very much what you think it is and not really anything else.
Yeah, it's like the Rayman game.
Yeah.
Did you play the Rayman game on mobile?
It's sort of like an endless runner, but not.
Yeah, endless runner platformer.
Yeah.
Not so much about speed. It's more platforming and navigating the level, collecting all the coins, and
right.
It looks cool. I think I will be amazed if this does not chart or top the paid charts on iOS. I'm pretty sure this game is going to do gangbusters for Nintendo.
Yeah, they seem to be on a weird nostalgic thing right now. So, there was also a new update to Pokemon Go this week.
Oh yeah, it was so stupid.
They released 2 new Pokemon.
Oh yeah, and you can get Pikachu with the Christmas hat.
I know there was one around my house recently, and I wasn't able to find him.
You suck.
I know.
That game is stupid.
But we all keep playing it.
Pokemon Sun and Moon. Off. Now that's a real Pokemon game.
Yeah.
That's the only Pokemon game that matters. That's it for public service announcements. So that's all shit you can go run out and play right now.
Yeah.
Spend your hard-earned money on. And I got nothing for free-for-all. I didn't watch any movies.
Oh.
I already talked about my TV and my monitor at great lengths.
Yeah, I don't really have anything this week either for the free-for-all section. I forgot I bought tickets for Rogue One on Friday. I was just talking to my wife today saying how I should probably go online and try and find some tickets to Rogue One at some point this weekend.
I gotta figure out how I'm gonna watch that or who I'm gonna watch it with.
Fair enough.
Because I bought 2 tickets for opening night.
Right.
And apparently the early word is it's pretty freaking awesome. Even better than Force Awakens.
So Will Wheaton on Twitter said after the premiere...
I don't follow him on Twitter, but...
that he has not loved a Star Wars movie this much since 1977.
Oh. Some pretty high praise from a very, very respected geek.
Yeah. That I also read, I'm trying to remember, I don't remember who it was today on Twitter, but it was also somebody that I respect and is a massive nerd. And they said that it is Empire Strikes Back good.
Yeah. I've heard good things.
So
So I will most likely see that on Friday and talk about that as well next week.
I will do my best to see that. I can't guarantee because, of course, I did not pre-purchase tickets months in advance like all the other crazies on the internet did.
Yeah, I did because, and I said this before on the show, I did it because when Force Awakens came out and I wanted to go see it opening weekend and it was like sold out everywhere. I was like, I was so mad at myself. I figured if I pre-purchased tickets this time, it's just like, you know what? I'll get to, if I go, I go. If I don't, I just like, go in and be like, okay, give me my money back. I didn't come to the show, but as opposed to not having them and not being able to get them.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, my friend Dane, we have a show.
I believe you are correct, my friend.
Sorry, guys. It's a little shorter, for a little light on the news this week. Maybe I will have a lot more to talk about next week. Play some more Dead Rising. Get into that. I'm going to have to play that Resident Evil VR.
Yeah, I got to finish Doom.
I got to start Doom more than just 2 chapters in. Got so much crap, man. So many games.
I know. I feel like I'm behind. And
I'm so behind.
Played Titanfall. I played Battlefield 1. That's
the thing. I haven't even beaten goddamn Battlefield. I still have like a chapter. I was going to say, I beat all the big shooters. Like, nope.
I know.
I have like 2 chapters left on Battlefield. Dishonored, I started, and it's so freaking awesome, and then I just haven't gone back.
Yep.
And then, of course, like, the game I did not expect. If you told me at the start of the year or last year that I would have been playing Final Fantasy 15 like fiendishly like I am right now, I would have said you're fucking crazy.
Wow.
I know.
See, and like it's stuff like that makes me want to play it. I really do.
It's super junky and it's super fun though. It's super Japanese too.
Yeah, and I love all of that parts of it.
Get it from your library.
Yeah, I don't know if my library does that. I'll have to check, actually.
You guys have Redbox on the mainland? Don't they rent video games? Look into that.
I don't know.
I know
there's a pretty solid library close to me though that I've never actually gone in. So
a lot of people in the US I follow on Twitter, they for stuff that they're not 100% dead set on getting, they Redbox it.
That's not a bad idea.
But we're in Canada, so we don't have a lot of cool stuff.
Oh, speaking of PSAs, Amazon Prime Video just came to Canada today.
Oh, what? Really?
Boom. Yeah.
I did not
finally
know that. Oh, sweet.
Finally came to Canada.
My wife has Prime.
That's awesome. You can go watch all the Prime crap. It's included in your Amazon Prime
original.
subscription.
Now included with Prime.
Yep.
Sweet. Oh, sweet.
I know.
I want to see. I want to watch The Man in the High Castle. Apparently, it's really, really good.
I just want to watch it for the new
Top Gear.
Well, yeah, not Top Gear, but
Grand Tour. Is
the Grand Tour. That's the only reason I want it. Which sucks because I'm probably actually going to end up freaking buying Prime so I can watch that.
Prime is, my wife has it. The only knock I have of Prime is that in the US you can share it between households. Oh. So we're married, same address. Right. She pays for it and I can get it if we were in the US. But in Canada they don't do that because that's impossible to figure out up here. Magically it doesn't work on your fucking site that you can do with a different abbreviation on the end of it. That makes no freaking sense.
That's annoying.
It's so stupid. So I have to use her account to log in and buy stuff, and it's just stupid. Because if we lived in the States, it would be no issue. I just basically log in with her details on my account, and it's like, oh yeah, you guys are Prime household.
Right.
Share it, because we're not stupid. That's cool.
So that's another sort of little morsel of info.
Because I totally want to watch that series. I've heard such good things about it. It's
you should be able to download the app now on iOS and Android. So
yeah, I can see it. It's an alternate history where Germany won.
Oh, interesting.
And took over the U.S. So the majority of U.S. is Nazi controlled.
Right.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a really cool series.
Huh. That sounds really interesting.
It's an Amazon original.
Huh.
Someone I greatly respect on Twitter is in love with that show.
Well,
cool. Well, thanks for sharing. That's sweet.
There you go.
Write that down in our PSAs. So that's it, my friend. You can follow me on Twitter at RickF, RICF, no K.
You can always get me on Twitter at Dane Cody, at DAYNECODY.
It always sounds weird when I say that. It should be RickF, no K, at RICF. I always say it the other way, which is weird. RICF, no K. And someone might think my Twitter handle is at RICF, no K, which that's not my Twitter handle.
That'd be a pretty cool Twitter handle, though.
It'd also have to be pretty stupid. But then again, I say it really stupid, so who's the idiot? Me?
Probably.
Yeah, most likely. We know I'm an idiot. I do stupid shit all the time.
Man, now you're talking about Final Fantasy. I've got a real yearning to play an awesome JRPG now.
Nah, you don't.
Yeah, no, I really do.
Don't pay for it. Rent it. Rent it. Borrow it from your buddy.
No, I'm not saying I want to necessarily play Final Fantasy 15. I'm just saying I want to play a good JRPG now.
Persona 4 Golden on the Vita. It's amazing.
I haven't actually played that.
Oh, it's so good.
I've heard it's great.
Oh, I want to marry all the girls in that game. I love that. That game's so good. Yeah. That's a great game. I can't wait for Persona 5. That's next year. Oh, so exciting. Borrow it from your buddy who hates it now.
I don't know.
Probably you said he swore off it. He's probably not going to play it anymore. Tell him to lend it to you.
Yeah, he probably will. We'll
Make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on YouTube, even though we're not really doing a lot there. You can actually listen to the show on YouTube if for whatever reason you're not subscribed in a podcast player of some sorts. It's Geekoholics everywhere.
We try to make it easy.
Yeah, it's very, very easy.
We try to put it on every platform.
And we appreciate you listening.
See you next week.
Yeah, until next week, we are out.
Later.
Peace.